Today, we're going to go over how to attack every single site on the map Chalet Fortress. If you guys are interested, the full video for every single map is over on my main channel, which is Garfield's Dock. Now, depending on how the defenders are defending dorms, there's a few ways that you guys can take this side of the map. So let's go on a very default, basic, white stairs split. So right off the bat, you want to get some type of pre-placed cam in lobby. Make sure nobody's gonna flank when you walk up bottom white, or you can bring a nomad, jab off this double, jab off like right here if you want, or like far. And basically, if you notice that there's a lack of utility top white and just on like this desk area, and they're giving this up for free, you guys can basically just take this main tower hallway wall. If you guys are doing that, then of course, establish map control by taking top white. Have your teammates drone out this tower area and basically just drop and establish this map control. If this is hard, you can basically just leave this hard, not gonna lie, until like you open up this main commander office wall, because you basically don't want them just swinging you while you're opening a wall off of sound, and that would be super annoying. So just open up the main wall, and from here you can have somebody playing outside museum, basically just cutting off sight, and you can have this person start out the round by shooting down horse door. You basically want to create phantom pressure, so opening this up creates phantom pressure for the people that's rotating in between sight, coming from top white, and even that's playing horse. So when you swing in, you can basically just fight if you need to late round, but just having that phantom pressure is really solid. So yeah, if you guys are just, cutting off, sight, and you get all this control, then you'll typically win the round. But let's say the enemies are extending out over here, or you just honestly don't like this take. Here's what I would suggest doing. You guys are going for a new tower drop. Basically, you want to start out getting some cams over here tower side, and just seeing, what utility they have, what operators might be playing over here, and see if they even reinforce off dorms. So right off the bat, we're going to go from the perspective of somebody that has hard breach device, second hard breach, whatever. If this is hard, open this up, of course, because you basically want to be able to fight anybody that's trying to flank or cross over, or bang anybody that's in games, or anybody that's briefing, trying to swing in to dorms as well. You basically just want to have this pressure as well. So just like the horse door I was talking about, you guys can have that phantom pressure for this white hallway and white stairs. So if anybody's trying to rotate, this is a window that they'll have to worry about. You don't need to play the phantom pressure. That's kind of the point of phantom pressure, is like somebody could be there. Basically, have somebody droning out tower, and at the same time, I would try to actively get a teammate in laundry while the person tower, and basically get them to be able to walk up this old tower staircase. And then from here, the person that's tower can drop, and you guys actively need to be droning out games area. And if they're not holding this area, you can walk all the way up and open up this main briefing room wall. Now, if they do have somebody that's playing inside briefing and they're contesting you, you can just have one of your teammates rotate over to the court hall windows. So let me show you how to get over there. Just basically have everybody wait for you, and then you can rotate all the way over here, come down on this window, and basically just open it up, try to drone out, and you guys can make a play where you jump in and you can fight anybody that's trying to rotate, or just basically cut them off. Now, your guys' main objective would be, of course, getting bathroom walls. And if you get to the point where you're opening a bathroom and you still have man advantage and all that good stuff, you can try to pinch horse with these angles. So, for example, you open up briefing. Let's act that like this is like thermite it or aced. You have one of your teammates that was lurking around. They're not really doing much. You don't need their utility. Get them to try to work towards horse while you guys are opening a briefing. Having this phantom pressure, like I said, is very good for this type of situation, because you can just slowly try to maybe even walk in. If you have a cam, you guys can drone out. Have a pre-placed, you can just swing, frag off, you kill the person that's playing the mirror or a zombie, You got rotate, and then there you go. You guys are pinched. That's basically how you guys pinch off this map. And that's two ways that I would attack. You always want to use your drones in prep phase just to see how enemies are playing. Because if they're playing either way, you know how to counter it, right? Okay, so there's two typical attacks that you'll see for dorms. The first one is the most common and pretty much the most simple. So what you guys are going to be working for is the main wall, and for horse side and tower. So you would usually have like one person maybe trying to lurk horse side late round. So you open up the horse door, open up the white window, and like I said, typically this is the main wall that you guys are going to be opening. So I've seen Osa and a Mav play this quite a bit, or anybody with smokes. So your end goal isn't really to finish on the dorm's wall unless the people that's tower or the person that goes horse, unless they like destroy the round. Like they're absolutely obliterating the enemies pushing those sides. So let's go the tower side. Usually like Montang or Blitz or Blackbeard takes this area, and enemies will contest this area just by placing like thorn gadgets, barbed wire, and whatnot. And it's just a very annoying place to just drop. Now, if that's not the case, you can just drop, you know. But usually there's a shield around this area right here. So you need to basically problem solve that utility. So bringing operators like Zofia, anybody with grenades, or, you know, even Zofia alone can probably just clear it because she has 2 stuns and then 2 impacts. At the same time, while the persons are droning tower or they're up in tower, you would want somebody coming in from laundry. Hey, there's me. And basically just getting, or even an infirmary, it doesn't really matter. You basically just need to get to the point where you're getting to the staircase. You could even jump in from this window, which is riskier, but you basically just want to see what their site setup is looking like. So if they have a rotate here, you're basically gonna have to fight them a little bit differently. So I wouldn't suggest just jumping in the window. I'd suggest maybe just crouch walking up. But it's depending on what their utility is like. Typically, you'll just see a shield here, though. So you can just impact that, and they'll end up falling back and just reinforcing this off. And then from here, you just need to work your hard breach. So you need to open up this single wall. You need to open this double wall if it's reinforced. And from here, it's just gunfights. This is where the person that's walking, you know, horse side is important, or the person that's on breach, because what they can do is now they can, let's act like all this is open. They'll basically have lines of sight on every important cross angle, because enemies will have to fall back lockers and they'll try to swing this rotate. So if someone's on breach, they can basically fight whoever, or if the person is walking up horse side, they can basically just, you know, cut off anybody trying to tuck up and swing. And this person's very important, just so you can take linear gunfights and not be overwhelmed. Now, if you're not a fan of that take, or you see that it's going to be too difficult or just not going to be good, what you guys should be trying to work for is this bathroom wall. So you can do this quite a bit of different ways. You can get somebody starting on horse door, cutting off anybody that's roaming, because if somebody's roaming, they're usually going to be bathroom side or this like museum hallway. So you guys can also just have somebody in this main like balcony window, and you guys can basically just cut off the person that's, you know, in this area. You can start somebody or a few people tower if you guys wanted to, and then basically just open up the single and basically just collapse on any of the enemies, and then take this bathroom hallway / courtyard hallway area. And you need to watch the swing, and you guys need to work for this main triple wall. Now, once you open up that triple wall, what's going to happen is enemies are going to fall back that area. This is, of course, going to be opened. So you guys need to possibly get somebody trying to work late back tower. Now, the reason why you're doing this is because it's backstabbing, basically. And a good thing that you can get is maybe a Flores just to work any of the utility, and then wait for your teammates to have this control. And then you could backstab super late, and you're going to be so valuable. Now, in attacking, what the heck did I just say, guys? Attacking infirmary seems very overwhelming, and people usually do it very wrong. They'll just typically try to fight not courtyard. They'll try to fight laundry, But what I suggest is actually trying to take lobby side and going for this wall right here in dining. Now to do this, you will of course need pre-plays and cutoff cams. So there's two ways that you need to be playing this. So one, you guys need to take this courtyard, hall, and lobby. So bringing like a gridlock, nomad, whatever for the staircase is really useful. And you basically want to think this as two teams splitting up. So you and your teammates, you're going to have teammates pushing over from Hammam side or sitting area, I believe it's called. And you guys are just going to be taking this map control just so you can cut off anybody trying to flank. Now, what's important is you get up to the white stairs and you just get this area, and you also get somebody playing around the I think it's called gun room. Yeah, gun room. You have somebody playing for the cutoff here because they will try to flank. Now, as long as that's happening, you guys can open up this main wall. And once again, Nomad's going to have to be getting her steps in. Like, she can put a jab, like, somewhere up here, somewhere up here. And honestly, like, getting this control to Infirmary, not that important because you just want to make sure you don't get flanked. And typically, since players don't really play this site super heavy, you can just open up the main wall. Let's act like that's a thermite breach. Notice how I can't plant right here. I need to go super deep. Yeah, that sucks. But you basically have to take this map control and just try to get deep and plant. Now, an alternative to this attack is having this courtyard door open, and you guys are going to fight for Infirmary because, you know, of course, the plant spot is very awkward. And what can end up happening is if they don't play this side of the map, guys, because I feel like a lot of people don't realize that this is where you plant. What you guys can do if you just drone out and see how they're attacking, if they're just reinforcing all of this off in Infirmary, flip the take and everybody just push Infirmary. Get somebody to take laundry so they can cut off anybody that's trying to flank. And once you get this control, as long as they don't have the hatch open, you can cut off side door. More importantly, you can just cut off the flank overall. So I would suggest bringing in Nomad or Gridlock just for this, and they can basically do all that work. And you guys literally just need to go for this one wall. Maybe flash out the stove, have somebody doubled up on the person that's planting, and just plant, bro. People give up this space just based off of reinforcing it. You need to extend an Infirmary. If you're not extending Infirmary, you're screwed. But if you guys are, like I say, going for this back wall, then you guys need to bring... Just make sure you have flashes of some sort, because at some point you're going to have to fight up to this area, and there's so many rat spots that's so annoying. So you can get that person walking in Infirmary and fighting the people, or you can even go upstairs and open the hatch. Now, if you're looking to open the hatch, guys, and you're trying to split this attack... So do everything that I basically just said, opening up that main wall, etc., etc. And just take control of briefing. Now, of course, we know where briefing is because it's courtyard. You can just rappel in or you can jump in this area. Just make sure nobody's actually up here. And when you open this, you have every line of sight that's important. And like, as you can tell, there's the door. There's the main wall to Infirmary. There's the actual Infirmary door, and then far back is the rotate on stove. Now, this doesn't give you, like, the craziest angles, but it does give you important ones, so you can just cut off the site and try to get down and plant. Okay, guys, I promise you, you are probably never going to attack Hammam, and if you do, simply what you have to do is go for the sitting wall. Like, it's honestly that easy. So what we're going to do here is, of course, we're going to open up this main sitting wall. And we also have a window here, which you can just literally jump in. And then you have control of gun room or any of their crosses. So, you know, of course, watch for vertical. But, yeah. You could bring, like, a Montang, someone with smokes, glass would be good. And you guys can literally just open up the main wall, smoke off the double, smoke close, and then jump in and plant on this little half wall. Of course, if they're playing vertical, then that's something you need to problem solve. But typically, you're not going to see that. But let's say that they do. Let's just for the video, you know? Starting off, what you guys need to do, get this main hallway window open for phantom pressure. And also horse door. There's probably going to be like a castle or something up here. Drone out, see how they're defending it. And then the problem with walking in horse here is your white stairs hallway. Someone might be trying to play across here. You got bathroom, you got horse. There's so many angles you're just swinging into. So if you're able to just play outside that horse door instead of walking in, you can get your teammates to drop the tower area, which is right here. And you guys can take this space, open up this line of sight if needed to cut off anybody. They might be playing head holes. I really don't know. We're just predicting. And you can get somebody to come lobby as well. And basically, you guys would take this space, come up here, and work towards for the hatch. If you guys open up this hatch that's over here, you will basically cut off all lines of sight in sight, which then will force enemies to flank up white. So if you bring, like, you know, just somebody with a gun, just hold a gun up here, maybe like claymores or whatever, you can cut off the rotate, you can cut off anybody's swinging, and that person should be able to just, you know, walk in sight and plan on this tucked. Either way, you're probably not going to attack this site ever in your life. So, you know, just for the video, that's how I would predict. That's how I would predict seeing that, but I've never seen this site played.